joined with Sarah and Nira, who host the NYC Vegetarian Food Fest, which now has an edition out in California. So that is really awesome to see how veganism and all things plant-based is really growing, and you two ladies have really been champion here locally for 9 years, going on 10 years. So I'm really curious, where did your journey to embracing and promoting veganism and plant-based food and products begin? And how do you know each other?
This year, 2019, is my 20-year vegan anniversary. I went vegan as a 10-year-old.
You went vegan as a 10-year-old?
I went vegetarian as a 10-year-old, vegan as a 14-year-old.
Wow.
And
what'd your parents say?
They were really supportive. I grew up with a vegetarian mom, so I was vegetarian first. And I went vegetarian when my sister actually was dissecting frogs in school, and my whole family was trying to keep it a secret from me because I had a special affinity for frogs.
Uh-oh.
And one night at the dinner table, somebody let it out, and I just finally connected it because I'm like, oh, but I love frogs, and there's meat on the table. And in high school, it was fun to have, I counted 7 friends went vegetarian because of my influence.
So you've always been a champion of wanting to share information,
right,
and really promote, hey, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Why are we harming animals? Let's get it off the plate.
It's been a question of just how do you spread the word in a way that people can listen, and that doesn't seem that you're attacking somebody's way of being,
Yeah. Especially food is at the heart of everyone's culture and memories. And so I'd love to hear, Nira, for you, I think you've had a totally different, journey.
For me, it was more of a health aspect of it. I was a dancer growing up, so I was always looking for something that was very nutritious and gave me energy and easily digestible rather than having it just sit in my stomach. Over the years, I find myself in New York, and I had started a production company putting on various events, and I created this fundraiser event over in Brooklyn. And I had a very, very close friend who was a photographer on the side, and so I asked him to come and take some snapshots. And he was like, yeah, sure, can I bring this girl that I just started hanging out with? I'm like, absolutely, the more the merrier. And he brought Sarah.
Oh, cool. That's the connection.
And she was saying to me oh yeah, this is amazing. I wish there were some events that were more for people like me. And I'm looking at her
what do you mean?
What do you mean?
You look normal.
Yeah. It's I couldn't comprehend it. So, we decided to come up with this not only a food festival, but it's a huge celebration of the plant-based lifestyle. So, it's bringing in the chefs to show you how to make the plant-based food, bringing in speakers of the doctors on up, bringing obviously the new products that you could try rather than going to Whole Foods and spending a lot of money on something called kombucha back then that I didn't know if I was gonna I wanted to try it first, and then I decide what to incorporate, but most importantly, to make it inclusive for everybody.
Speaking about food, we're at MooShoes, which is a vegan shoe shop, but their sister store is Orchard Grocer, and I think we have some tasty items that we can dig into. What did you ladies get?
So this was, I think, called the Upstart Bowl. Yeah, and it's got tofu with some kind of marinade, avocado, carrots, and a green dressing.
Nice.
And mine is the weekly bowl, which is one of their specials. So it's got cashew feta. I don't remember what it is. This is this type of
looks like a tofurkey slices.
I think
it feels like a Greek,
like a
gyro.
Greek gyro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I'm indulging because Orchard Grocer, since being vegan, I cannot find a good croissant. Across the country, I cannot find a good croissant. In Orchard Grocer, it has some secret spot where they get their croissants that are flaky and delicious. So I'm curious, over the past over the past 9 years of, you started your exploration into, wanting to support this underserved community with an educational event. So what was like that first year, that first event like?
We were a little naive, I think, when we did our first event as to like how many people would actually attend. And it was a one-day event, and we just hit the pavement, did media, ran around, put the word out. And then day of the event, helicopters were overhead because the line spanned all around a city block and wouldn't move. And so people thought it was an iPhone release.
Oh my goodness.
The next day, like the major media, like in the morning shows picked it up, which was amazing. And they were like, what happened in New York City? The vegetarians have come into town, So
it was the first one. It's so amazing.
Every year we make the event different. So it's never the same event twice. There's like, certain things that will always be there, like chef demos. But the vendors, like constantly change.
And what the chefs are demoing is different.
And the chefs.
What people are interested in every city is different. Even in 1 year, we have some of the same vendors. Sometimes a speaker will do multiple events, but mostly they're completely different events. You could attend each one and hear and taste everything different. That's one of our favorite parts too, that we don't always hear, but then when we do, it's really exciting. Oh, I went vegan because of your festival. I went vegetarian because of your festival. So that's something to celebrate.
Products that you have at your conference aren't just related to food, but also it encompasses a lot more. Like there was a lot of really great nonprofits that were, present. And also too, clothing products. I think there was somebody we met who was making parkas from Canada that's taking out the goose. Wuxley.
Yeah.
And so the warmth in our product goes beyond just what it physically does to your body. It's the whole why behind our company. It directs every decision.
Vegan products expand so much more than just what you eat.
Well, the whole concept, the name has vegetarian in it and food, but it's a little misleading because it's really like plant-based and all about anything within the lifestyle, the plant-based lifestyle. That's why it's like a festival. So we celebrate, and part of the aspect of being vegan, there's also the the environmental component, to it as well, aside from the animals. And so, of course, we bring in, products that are environmentally friendly, that happen to also be vegan. We bring in the nonprofits, whether they're about food or animals or the environment. We like to have them represented as well. Because you're preaching the same choir basically as people walk through the door. You want them to be educated, and if they're interested, being able to go the table over and here's an organization I might want to be a part of, or learn about.
We are here at the Vegetarian Food Fest 2019. We found Guy from Beyond Sushi.
And there's no movement that is more profound and diverse as the movement of healthy eating.
You also have another project as well.
Oh, right. Yeah. So before there was a festival, I started a vegan chocolate company called Rescue Chocolate. The profits go to animal rescue groups. I was working with a chocolatier based in Brooklyn, but it's now based in New Jersey, not too far. And we pick a different rescue group every month, anywhere in the country, and the profits of the month will be donated to that group.
What are some things we can look forward to when coming up upon your 10-year anniversary, 2020 NYC Vegetarian Food Fest?
We don't know. For every event, it's like a blank slate. So part of it is also driven by what vendors are out, or who's promoting a book, or who's going to be in town, things like that, and then we cater to them.
We invite you to come and join us. If you have somebody that you want to see at the festival, if you have some food that you want to see, we're all ears at the moment. It's a blank slate, like Nira said.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and we're hoping it'll be bigger and better. That's what we always, strive for each year. And it has been. So like next year, bigger and better.
Awesome.
And it will be in May.
May. Perfect. So the time is blooming. New York is in bloom, and celebrating 10 years of success.